Hey guys, it's story time, episode 35, and we're going to be reading out of the Classic Children's Bible Storybook. If you haven't got one, go get one. It's amazing. It breaks down like most of all the Bible stories. Not all, because it holds like 200 Bible stories, I think. Yeah, contains 200 favorite stories from the Old and New Testaments out of the Bible. So, yeah. So, like all of these stories came from the Bible, so they're Bible stories. And today's Bible story is I Am Your Brother. And there's Joseph, and I don't know if this is Joseph's, like, if that was him in the drawing, or Pharaoh. I don't know for sure, but we will see. So, yeah. And the title of the Bible story, like I said, is I Am Your Brother. And I just want to say and take a little moment that once we're saved, and just say that if you're saved, and, I'm saved, so I can call you my brother, or my sister, and, so yeah, but, this is a little bit different, but, because they're actually brothers, like, blood, but, yeah, like, blood kin brothers, but, they're spiritually as well. I know that Jesus wasn't, like, born yet, but they had to believe in God back then because there was no salvation. There was only, like, believing in God, But now there is salvation, and you have to get saved, and you got to ask God to come into your life, and He will in His timing, and, be patient and accept Him the first time, and go full through the salvation, not halfway, like accept Him, but don't quit there. Share your testimony, and also get baptized. That's all full, that's the full salvation. So, yeah. So, let's get started. I Am Your Brother, Genesis chapter 45, verse 1 through 28. And here's the Bible verses. And then after the Bible verses, it's going to break it down. It's not too many, so let's get on with it. Please come closer, he said to them. So they came closer. And he said, I got mixed up there. And he said again, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into slavery in Egypt. But don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. It was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives. And I'll read it again because I messed up. Please come closer, he said to them. So they came closer, and he said again, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into slavery in Egypt. But don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. It was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives. Genesis chapter 45, verse 4 through 5. And here's where it breaks the Bible verses down. While listening to Judah pleading on Benjamin's behalf, Joseph began to cry. He had never meant to harm anyone. He just wanted to sort out his feelings before telling his brothers who he really was. When he saw Judah offer himself in Benjamin's place, he knew that his brothers had changed. So he sent all the Egyptians out of the room and only then he did tell them who he was. Imagine how shocked the brothers were when Joseph told them in their own language, "I am Joseph, your brother." The brothers were surprised and then terrified. What would Joseph do to them now? What would he do to punish them for the evil they had done to him so many years ago? But Joseph reassured them that they did not need to be afraid. It was not them, but God himself who sent him to a foreign country. He had not ended up in Egypt. There would have been no food to save the people. God had indeed prepared a way to save many lives, so Joseph allowed his brothers to go home. They had to bring back their families and their father and come and live with him in Egypt. Jacob was very happy when he heard the good news. His son Joseph, for whom he had mourned so long, was alive. So, yeah. I am kind of having allergy problems, so yeah, that's why I'm sounding like I'm stopped up because of my nose and ears, yeah. So yeah, just pray for me for that. But anyways, what I think this Bible story means to me, guys, is that, like, to get the full understanding, you're going to have to start a little bit back or start all the way back. But last week's video was the stolen cup, which Joseph, which is this Egyptian man that, that's his, like, he was just telling his brothers, he's the Egyptian man. They don't know that he's Joseph, their brother, that they sold into slavery. But, anyways, he puts the stolen cup in Benjamin, which is his brother, young brother. And, so yeah, he told his brothers that he's going to keep Benjamin. Benjamin needs to stay and everybody else leave and go back home. So then the oldest brother, I'm pretty sure his older brother, let's see, yeah, oh, it was Judah. Yeah, it's Judah, one of the older brothers. He was pleading. He was telling Joseph, the Egyptian man, to take him instead of his younger brother, Benjamin. So, yeah. And so then it comes along to here now. Joseph just starts out crying. I'm putting it in my words. He just started crying, and then he told, the people that was in the room, he sent all the Egyptians that was in the room. He sent them out, and he told all of his brothers that, I'm your brother Joseph, in his own, in their language. But, yeah, they was shocked. They was kind of worried, what is Joseph going to do next, to punish us for what we did. We sent him, we sold him to slavery, what is he going to do? But, that was the question that they was asking each other and themselves. But Joseph, he said, it was God's plan for me to come here, because if, he didn't come, if God didn't send him, all the people over there wouldn't have had food and they would have died. And, all the things that had happened, God made it happen for a reason, because, we wouldn't have these Bible stories, you know, we wouldn't have like the Bible story of Joseph and I think it was Potiphar's wife. Yeah. Thank you, God, for letting me be reminded of that. You know, it just came to my head like boom. Thank God for it. And like how Potiphar's wife wanted to basically to do something like when you're married, you know, like to Joseph to go to bed with her. So, you know, he was, you know, following the Lord. He knew what to do, and he ran from sin, and he ran so fast that he dropped his jacket or coat, you know, like a piece of his clothes. And then, you know, Potiphar's wife, you know, lied and got the, like, piece of clothes and told the Egyptian officers, you know, like, that Joseph has been, you know, like, doing stuff, you know, like, something like that. Then they send him to jail. Then Pharaoh gets him out, but he meets these two people, cupbearer and the baker, and the baker dies, I'm pretty sure, but and the cupbearer lives. But anyways, then it gets on to this part. But anyways, what Joseph does, he just tells them to go home. Like, just tells them to go home, bring all the family, and, like, when they did, they seen that Joseph was still alive, and they seen, you know, like, Jacob, which was their father, and he was very happy, and he was glad, you know, like, Joseph wasn't dead, because, you know, Jacob has been grieving and, like, mourning, like, all this time because of what the brothers did to Joseph. But basically, Joseph, you know, told him it was just God's will, and, you know, and he just told him to go get the family and bring them here to, you know, to show that I'm still alive and to live with him in Egypt. So that's what they do, and that's basically the end of the whole section of that Bible story, and we're going to get a brand new Bible story, and it's Baby in the Bulrushes, something like that, and there's a woman holding a baby in a crib. So we'll find out what this Bible story is. So please like, subscribe, comment below. Don't forget, guys, Jesus saves. Don't forget, check out my other videos and vlogs and my other channel, Cody Awesome Oreo and Raw Sewage Wrestling. And I just thank God for preparing me for this. You know, I wasn't expecting for this to happen today since I already made my vlog. But, you know, God, you know, led me to this. He wanted me to study, then he wanted me to make the video. Because, yeah. Because, like, I made, like, the Bible verse video 2 days ago. Wait, no, not 2 days ago. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, I didn't have, like, much to do, basically. I was going to get on my games and play them, but God had other plans otherwise, so I thank God for it. And, so yeah, doing the Lord's will, and you'll get a blessing out of it, or it may just be a test to see if you are doing in the Lord's will or not. But you'll still get a blessing. You'll feel that relief that you've done something good, you know. And if you aren't saved, just ask God to come into your life, and He will in His timing. And guys, don't forget, Jesus saves. Don't forget, don't take the chip, and spread the word that God's not dead on any social media or any body, your friends, family, anybody that you see. And eat some Oreos on my other channel, and God bless you all.